Lots of gyrocopter in this tournament.
Disruptor.
Alright, so I guess I'll pause it really quick. Turn it off directed camera, free camera. And pause it. And go over the players. So on Kingston we have Gale on the Luna. Darkseer is, what does that say, Frosty? Frasty? Oh, there we go. Frasty, NP. Yobi, NP. Stanfield, and Elwind, it looks like, on the Templar Assassin. So Rubik, Shadow Demon. We're going to see a very aggressive tri-lane again with the Rubik's Shadow Demon. You're going to see the Darkseer solo. There's lots of solo Darkseer. The reason you solo a Darkseer is because he has a really good escape with Surge. That max movement speed pretty much lets him outrun any sort of gank that you try and pull on him. Luna's probably going to be down in that safe lane. One reason you put Luna down in the safe lane is because once she gets about level 8 or 9 and gets at home with the Dominator, she has very, very fast jungling. So if you go ahead and have, let's say you've got 2 supports in the Luna down here, the supports can go up and start stacking all these jungle camps for her if the lane's kind of quiet, which it usually is in a tri-lane versus solo lane situation. I don't know that's what we'll see. I think we might actually see an aggressive tri-lane since they did pick Magnus and Night Stalker. I think we'll see Magnus up here in the safe lane, and then Gyro and... But I'll get to those picks shortly. But let's say you have her in a tri-lane, she's well protected. They might leave this, you know, if this is normally against a solo lane like it usually is, then your supports can be over here stacking. You know, this one's stacking and pulling, and then the other one's just stacking these camps. Luna hits 9. You've got some triple, maybe 4 stacks in a camp. She comes through, she gets her bouncing glaive, and she just cleans those extremely fast, and it's a huge burst of gold. So that's part of what makes Luna such a powerful carry, is her ability to farm once she gets kind of into the early mid game. I think we will be seeing Templar Assassin mid, just because of her ability to farm up that quick blink dagger and get the traps down slow, and then she has really good burst damage early game with meld. If she can actually get in close to somebody and meld and come out of meld, that's a free 200 bonus damage. 200 bonus damage is a lot early game. 200 bonus damage plus the 100 or so damage that she'll be doing on her own. That's half of a support's life. She almost 2-shots of support, pretty much, as soon as she comes out of mid. Again, Shadow Demon and Rubik are, well, really Shadow Demon combos with anything with any sort of disable. As I said, his in the first game, game 1 Icy Cup and Pulse, the disruption, take that at level 1. His illusions are there for 5 seconds, and they're doing 30% damage each. So, you know, the 2 illusions attacking plus Shadow Demon attacking, and since they can attack for the several seconds, and then if he catches somebody ranged, they're going to be attacking for the full 5 seconds. And so Rubik, of course, with the level 1 stun, it's 1.5 seconds of lift and 1 second stun, so I mean that's 2.5 seconds of stun total. So that's enough time for him to get a lot of illusion damage off of his disruption. And then at level 2, Soul Catcher, he starts putting bonus damage onto the hero. So it allows for them to put out a really aggressive tri-lane, I think, around the Luna. For MTW, we have, let's see, we'll start up here. Matrum on the Disruptor, Cinderin on the Night Stalker, Warlog on Magnus. It looks like that says Tulex Dota on the Gyrocopter, and Dutch Freak on the Venomancer. Judging by their players that they've put on the heroes, I mean, Cinderin's usually their mid player, so I'm pretty much betting on the Night Stalker mid. Magnus, as I said, I don't know that they'll put the Magnus into the solo suicide lane situation, although he does have his Skewer, which is a charge and allows him to charge back to safety in the lane if he gets called out. And he is a fairly tanky hero. His strength gain is pretty high. He does also, I mean, the main thing you want him in the solo lane is you want that early reverse polarity. The earlier you can get his ultimate, the quicker you can start turning around team fights. Between Disruptor and Venomancer, you don't really have a disable, but you have a lot of burst damage, and then the slow from Venomous Gale is probably one of the strongest slows you can get at level 1. 50-second slow, and it's 15 seconds, I believe, yes. 15 seconds. So 50% movement speed, and this scales really nicely with Gyrocopter. So Gyrocopter can get his Rocket Barrage. Rocket Barrage is a small AoE. If you can get that focused on one hero, 11 damage, 10 rockets per second, that's 110 damage per second, and it's 3 seconds, so that's 330 damage at level 1. And so add that with Venomous Gale, add that with Disruptor, maybe he gets Thunderstrike or Glimpse to maybe put somebody back out of position that was out of position when they get back in position, or Kinetic Field just to stop people from running away. And then that's not even accounting for the auto attacks, and you've pretty much almost killed somebody. So this leads itself to the possibility of a very aggressive tri-lane, and if they do that, it will allow Magnus to not only get his levels, but he'll be able to farm up against this Darkseer, something that won't really change whether the Gyrocopter gets farmed or not. And I think the Gyrocopter really wants to get some kills. Generally, when you go with a Gyrocopter lane, Gyrocopter, Venomancer, and Disruptor, you want to get those early kills, so they're probably going to try and seek out these two squishy supports. They'll be a lot easier to kill than Darkseer, although if they do get an early glimpse on Disruptor, they would be able to put Darkseer back when he uses Surge and tries to run away. So I guess I'll play it out now, and we'll see what lanes they choose to go to.
Prepare for battle.
Synderen is going mid. He started out with his Tango's Gauntlet of Strength. Something to look for when you see professional mid players, you will see them save gold. The reason he saves 200 gold, if you don't save any gold and you get the creep, you kill all the creeps, you're going to get your bottle around the 3-minute mark. If you save 200 gold, you can get your bottle at the 2-minute mark for that very first rune. So a lot of mid players on professional teams, so you see 354 gold saved, they get as minimal items as they can, as little regen as they can to stay in lane, and as little stats as they can to get successful last hits against the enemy hero. So he's gonna get just enough to outlast hit the Templar Assassin, and then 3 tangos, and hopefully by the time his tangos run out, he will be receiving his bottle. So it looks like we're just checking on the ward, or the rune I mean, and it looks like they are going to suicide lane the Magnus. So I wasn't sure about that, but they have decided to do that. They're not really worried about getting those kills on the enemy support so much as getting their Gyrocopter farm, and I guess they will be looking to get a Disruptor kill on the Darkseer, which is a possibility with the with Glimpse. But he did level up his Thunderstrike first. So our 2 supports are going to roam top, support this Gyrocopter, and I think, right, unless they are running a dual mid, and it looks like they might be running a dual mid. Perhaps they did not feel comfortable with the Night Stalker versus a solo Templar Assassin, so to compensate and get the Night Stalker enough farm to go into nighttime. I mean, because Templar Assassin, with her Sideblades, she really does poop all over any melee hero. There's not much she can do. She auto-attacks something, and it splashes through the back of it, and it will automatically just put harass on him. She doesn't even have to harass him, she just has to last hit creeps, and it's going to harass him. So they've adjusted their lanes. They said, you know what? It doesn't take much to get this Gyrocopter free farm on the Darkseer. Venomancer will stack and pull. We'll get the Darkseer farm, and we'll just rotate the Disruptor mid. Disruptor, the reason he has Thunderstrike at level 1, that's going to help take down this Refraction. Refraction takes a certain amount of hits before it disappears. This does 3 strikes. 3 strikes and a few auto attacks will get rid of this faster. Although I'm curious as to why Venomancer was chosen as the support for top lane instead of going mid, because one level of, I believe it's called Toxicity, no, it's called Poison Sting. His Poison Sting stacks, it's 6 times at level 1. She gets 6 stacks on her Refraction, so actually it's 3, it's 6 at level 4 of the Refraction. So 1 level of Venomancer's Poison Sting would do her all game. All you would have to do is do 1 auto attack on the Templar Assassin. But Disruptor does have a good amount of How do I know my rating by roll? I'll get to that after I finish casting this. I think one of the reasons they may have chose Disruptor to go up against this Templar Assassin though is Venomancer does have a smaller attack range, so there's going to be about 200 range splash damage behind every creep she hits. You're going to see it hit Cinder in here in a minute, I believe. You should see it splash out. Well, he's doing a good job of angling himself. But Disruptor can sit back at 600 range, and he doesn't have to really worry about getting harassed by the Templar Assassin, and he can deal harass on the Night Stalker. So that would be one reason to put the Disruptor mid instead of the Venomancer. I think they're comfortable now, though. Now that Cinderin... So the Disruptor only sat there long enough to help Cinderin get his bottle. Now that Cinderin has his bottle, he's got the farm he needs to get that bottle. Now he has enough regen to stay in lane. He doesn't need to be babysat by that support anymore. He needs to get levels. He needs really fast levels so that he can be ready for the first nighttime. So because of this, Matrim's like, okay, my job here is done. Let's rotate top. And now let's try and get this Darkseer. So he's got his wall. He's got the wall up. Now the Darkseer's saving his surge. Saves his surge till after the wall fades away. That was really important there. They might still die from the bomb. It's very close, very close. 8. There it is. Venomancer. So Venomancer, the Venomous Gale right there. 15-second duration, 25 damage, strike damage, and then 15 damage over time. He had 8 damage. He had 2 more ticks off of the Venomous Gale and it killed him. So, something really important there though, Darkseer saved his surge. He didn't surge right away. He knew that there was going to be a wall thrown up by Disruptor. And so he waited, and that was his best chance for getting away. Unfortunately, he did not have a salve to salve up as soon as he got out of range, and it was enough damage to kill him. So we do have Matron rune camping over here for Cinderin. That's another important thing. Something Cinderin's going to need to stay in lane is to keep this bottle full, because he is going to suffer constant harass from the Templar Assassin. So every rune that can be camped and kept from getting in TA's hands is going to help Cinderin stay in lane. He's already got his boots now, he's got a bottle with a haste in it. She's running out of mana because to use her refraction and keep it up, and refraction's a lot of her bonus damage. So she's going to stop hurting Cinderin so bad soon. While Cinderin's got a full bottle, he can dive on her. And we even have a roaming gank coming in here mid. Although it looks like Templar with her early boots is going to be able to easily outrun these supports, unless... And we have some support follow-up from the Kingston side. But Magnus, of course, came down too, so... We will see some early kills for Night Stalker and for Magnus. That's going to actually be really beneficial for Magnus in this lane. As a solo lane against a tri-lane. So let's see, we got people TPing in. So it looks like this Rubik's gonna die as well. Maybe not.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yep. And the Rubik's stuff. So, in the tri-lane, as a solo Magnus against the tri-lane, the biggest advantage he has is his levels. And by getting kills on everyone in the tri-lane like they just did, he just got levels that he needed, so that he has a big level advantage over the 3 enemy heroes in the other lane. If you're level 4 and everyone in the tri-lane is level 4, there's not much you can do. Like, Luna's level 6 right now. But these guys are level 2. So, you know, Luna can still jump him, level 2, level 3. He just got back up to level 4. He was probably sitting at level 2 before all those ganks. I didn't really look. But then also, I mean, we've got a level 5 Venomancer now, just from the ganks. He's maxing out his Poison Sting, which is a 1% extra slow and 1 more duration. I don't really know if I guess it's specifically to address the TA. It's why I would think he would max out Poison Sting over Venomous Gale. Venomous Gale, an extra level in Venomous Gale is more damage than maxing out Poison Sting. But the extra duration means that if he's auto-attacked her recently and she gets a refraction up, he'll get some extra ticks on her and help remove that refraction faster. it will be easier to sustain his Poison Sting on the Templar Assassin. And it does look like he's trying to deal with the Templar Assassin, but she's doing a really good job of providing vision with her ward trap, or tombstones. Looks like they're called. At the same time, Disruptor, realizing that she's placing those over there, so she's placing one for Rune Vision right here. And it looks like he was just trying to counter ward in case she was trying to stop them from ganking, but he happened to find the tombstones. But if you'll look, she has these right here on the rune spot, so she can always look and see what the rune is, even if there's no ward vision. She knows what the rune is. That's something that you'll see a lot of Templar Assassins do. And it allows her to, if she doesn't have rune control, to at least know what rune the mid is getting and what rune, if it's top or bottom. So you can say, hey, there's a haste top, Night Stalker's going to get it, be ready guys. And if you know that, then you can at least have TPs up that maybe counter gank the Night Stalker when he gets that haste and roams top, and stop him from getting any kills top. So we do have a haste bottom. She knew that because she had her tombstone up.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
So she has a double damage and a haste. We might see her actually go back in.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Looks like she wants this Magnus, but he knows it. He's getting back to his tower.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
So they're gonna just take the early tower. And as I said, we've got the Helm of the Dominator up on Luna. Hey Mimi Chori. So you have the Helm of the Dominator up on Luna, and she's gonna be able to easily farm this lane. And they do get the kill. Yeah, there's kill. So she's gonna get this tower pushed down, and she's gonna farm it out. And pretty much, as soon as anybody comes to push Luna out of this bottom lane, she's just gonna rotate into the jungle. Now that she has that Helm of the Dominator, and as well as Tranquil Boots by themselves are pretty broken in the jungle. But as soon as she gets that Helm of the Dominator, she can roam to the jungle where we have floating creeps. I don't know why they're flying, but they are flying. That's a new feature in Dota 2, apparently. Flying creeps. These ones are on the ground. Yeah, these ones are normal walking creeps. These ones are flying creeps, though. She'll be able to rotate in here anytime she chooses, like right here. So she's pushed the lane out to here. She can't farm it at their tower because people can TP in and gank her. She comes to right here, pops her Helm of the Dominator, grabs a Centaur for later, and she's gonna jungle. This Centaur is gonna fly away, probably see him go stand right here to be used to stack the Ancients, so that the supports don't have to do it. If you can have creeps sitting waiting to stack, and it relieves the burden from your supports, it means your supports can go stack these camps instead. So this big camp over here. And then you can still have stacked Ancients for Luna later. So here's 3 stacks so far on this Ancient, waiting for Luna. Probably when she maxes out Moonglaive, or maybe gets a few more levels in it so she can kill these faster. But you will see her rotate over and kill that Ancient stack soon. And it does look like she might be going for her Yasha first, just going ahead and stacking that move speed. As you can see with Tranquil Boots, she already has 400 move speed. Luna does start out with really high base move speed. So she's going to go ahead and get a Yasha, maybe into a Manta. One thing good about getting a Manta on Luna, her Moonglaives do proc from her illusions. So even though the illusions do less damage, they're all going to bounce the Moonglaives, and it makes her push really fast in a lane. And her Moonglaives, especially when you get on buildings and you have illusions, her Moonglaives will actually bounce from these racks to these houses to over here and hit these towers. And it'll just be bouncing around. You'll see a stream of Moonglaives, especially when she gets her Manta up. So we see Warlog down here. He's got level 7. He's got his reverse polarity up. And he's got a teleport. Now, one big thing about being a suicide lane, you want to get a teleport pretty soon after you hit 6. If you don't, you might want to catch one earlier. But at least when you hit 6, you want to start carrying a teleport. Because what you're looking for is, hey, there's a gank mid. You teleport in, use your skewer, you slide in, reverse polarity, you turn the whole team fight around. Or you say, hey, there's a gank top on our gyrocopter. You TP up, you slide in, and you change the whole dynamic of the team fight because you're level 7 and you've got reverse polarity. So that would be something to look for. He is carrying his teleport, he has his mana boots, he has reverse polarity. So he's sitting there ready to TP in, but until he's required to TP in, he is getting some farm, and that was a really big bait by Warlog. So he slid in like he was initiating on Luna, let her do her ultimate, and instantly ran away. So now Luna ultimate is down. Not only is Luna ultimate down, but they know she's low on mana, so she's got, look, 1 Moonbeam left. Luna does not have the highest base mana pool, so she's pretty much got 2 beams in her ultimate. So if you can bait enough Moonbeams out of a Luna, and you don't see her popping clarities, then you know she's not going to be able to ultimate you. But in this case, they popped ultimate, and they know that she's low on mana, so I guess Synderen's looking to dive on her now that her ultimate's down. It's really dangerous to dive on her Luna, especially on her tower with no creeps as the Night Stalker when her ultimate's up. But as soon as it's down, Synderen's looking to get that Luna kill because he knows, you know, he's got a 160 second window. He's got to get that gank in sometime, because if you don't gank the Luna, she's a carry. She's gonna carry. If you just let her free farm. I mean, she already has 82 creep kills at 13 minutes. So, I mean, that's a lot of gold. Let's look at the gold per minute. Here we go. Gold per minute, 375 gold per minute right now in the early game, and they've killed bottom tower. So she's sitting at 82, and last hits denies 85. Gyro's sitting at 73. If they can gank her, the 1 minute that she'll be dead will allow Gyrocopter to catch back up. Because if you look at a creep wave when it comes in, let's go to this fresh creep wave. There's 4 creeps and then a catapult. Catapults they only spawn I think every 2 minutes, but there's 4 creeps in a wave. So every minute, 8 creeps spawn. 8 creeps puts him at 85. 86 now. So 1 minute dead, 8 creeps. That would catch him back up to Luna. So they really need to gank. They really need to get ganks on this Luna. Help keep their Gyrocopter at the highest farm, if they can. Especially since Luna seems to have mastered all of the flying centaurs. So I like these flying centaurs. I don't know why they're flying, but we do have a lot of flying centaurs in this game. See, let me look at Templar Assassin's items. So Templar Assassin is actually going for an early Yasha, which is interesting. Usually you see a more ganky Templar Assassin build a Blink Dagger, but the reason she may be going Yasha is to try and keep up with this Night Stalker to be able to kill him early on. Because without any movement speed increases, she's not going to be able to get any kills on this Night Stalker at nighttime. He's just going to run away. So maybe she's thinking with a Yasha, she can keep up with her Luna, and they'll be able to chase down this Night Stalker and kill him off. I think with traps and a blink, though, she'd be able to accomplish the same. But different people have different playstyles, so I guess we'll have to see. She might be going for an early Manta as well, just for straight up survivability. Manta does dispel many of the things you can cast, especially, for example, an Orchid. If you get Orchided and you pop your Manta, it removes the Orchid effect. So she may be going Manta just to remove some debuffs. That would be my best guess. She's probably going straight for the Manta, just so she can Alright, so something really important that just happened here. Something really important that just happened here. The supports know there's a Luna in the game. The first thing they do is get a ward up here to watch these Ancients. They know Luna's going to stack Ancients. They know Luna's going to farm this stack at some point. So the team comes up here with Gyrocopter, and Gyrocopter farms Luna's stacks. And that's all through ward vision right here. It's going to be interesting to see. Luna's actually appears to be getting most of these kills. Looks like she is going to have to back out now. We do have a Blink Dagger up on Magnus now, though. That's going to be important. That's a really fast blink for an off-lane hero. But I think that has to do with those 4 early kills. just have a buyback. We just had a buyback from Templar. And she almost just died again. That would have been pretty sad to buy back, come into it, and die right away. But if you ever see stacks for the enemy carry, you want to go farm their stacks. If you can take out their stacks, that way, like, I mean, stacks in your jungle for your carry, those are good. But if you can take their stacks out as well, those are even better. Because these ones are safe, you know. These ones are protected. These ones are yours. This is gyrocopter stacks, and the enemy team has to come up into your territory to fight for those. But when they clear out this one, you know, they took half of Luna's farm and put it on their gyrocopter right there. And that was a lot of Ancients. Ancients are a lot of gold and experience, so that was a really big play by MTW, I think. If Luna had gotten all of that farm in gold, let's see, what does she have right now? She's probably almost finished. That probably would have finished her Manta style. But Gyrocopter getting a lot of that, instead, that's almost finished him a Yasha. So, that whole, let's see, it's probably someone, we've got an Ogre Club that went to Night Stalker from that as well. I'm not sure if any of the supports got any gold from that. I wouldn't think so. I would think that Gyrocopter got most, Gyrocopter and Night Stalker got most of it. They were up there actually auto-attacking. Dead Shriek was actually just standing back casting his Plague Words early on. So there's the power of an early blink on a hero like Luna, who can normally run away. When she gets trapped in there, before she can even see Warlog coming, he can actually blink in and be on her. Disruptor has relatively high range on his spells, if you see. He can actually come up here in Fog and throw a wall out without her being able to see him, and then she could be blinked on by Warlog. Glimpse has an incredibly big range. If you look at the range on this, Disruptor is just a high range hero altogether. So that's part of the power of this early blink, and that's simply because of that big team fight bottom that happened. You saw 4 people die on the HWA is what it says up there. I think it's Kingston. Yeah, Kingston. The Kingston team. 4 people died. Suddenly, this guy that was solo on the long lane, he gets his levels. He's almost level 11 now, and he has a blink dagger, and he has arcane moves. So he's sitting pretty happy. Gyrocopter up here, probably. Yep, he's finished his Yasha. He's getting a teleport. An important thing about being a carry: not only do you have to farm, but at a certain point you have to decide, hey, I got farm. I need to participate in team fights. When this point happens, you've got to get a teleport on you. And he is being smoke ganked right now. So there's a very big Luna ult. So the reverse aspect of what I was just talking about, the carrying TPs, as a team, knowing that your carry is up here farming by his tower, when you see the enemy team teleporting to your carry, it's your job to carry TPs and be ready to TP in and support your carry as well. What you see happened very well for MTW, just there. They had everyone TP, support the Gyrocopter. Gyrocopter still died, but so did the Luna, so did a Darkseer, so did a Shadow Demon. So 3 people dying just to kill their carry, that's a really good trade. And it looks like it's going to be 4 people, and maybe I don't know if they're going to be able to finish off. Oh, they might even be able to finish off this Templar Assassin now if they have any vision for him. Oh, she tried. And there's going to be a glimpse, but she's melded again. Synderen gets too close to her, she will one-shot him. Something to notice Synderen's doing, he is toggling his power treads to intelligence while he's using an urn. The reason he does this, if you watch, so they did end up killing the Templar. When you toggle to intelligence, he has less HP. So when you heal, an urn heals a static amount, it heals 400. So if you heal 400, so right now he has 1500 HP maximum, and when he switches back over to strength, the amount that switches over, so now he just instantly gained 200 HP. So instead of 1300 out of 1500, he now has 1550 out of 1670. Simply because he was on intelligence treads while healing. Healing while he has less strength is actually healing you more when you toggle it back to strength. And Luna's very smart. So Night Stalker, he can cast his spell on you, but Void right here, it's a mini stun. So if you just teleport her out right when you see Night Stalker, he's going to Void, and it's going to mini stun you and cancel your TP. If he already uses Void on you, it has an 8-second cooldown. You'll see 8 seconds. If he uses that on you, teleport out immediately. He doesn't have any other stuns unless he already has his basher, and then he's just going to melee you. And then you just kind of cross your fingers and hope. But if he already uses this, just double hit that TP. If you double tap that TP, it's going to take you straight back to Fountain. It's just going to, boom, straight back. So he initiated with this Void instead of initiating with Crippling Fear and beating on her, but he kind of had to in a Luna situation. If he didn't nuke her down fast, as soon as Crippling Fear wore off, she would press R, probably, ultimate him. And Luna ultimate, solo hero, is a whole lot of damage. And here's some more flying centaurs. Must be a bug just for the centaurs. We've had lots of flying centaurs this game. So we're about to get BKBs up on Luna, up on Night Stalker. We do have a mech on Venomancer. Something important about picking up a mech, you generally want to have an early mech on every team that you play on. The reason you want this early mech is not only does it heal and armor all of your allies, but it does the creep wave as well. So when you're pushing, it gives you sustainability. If you go in with this creep wave, and let's say the Rubik casts his Fade Bolt and brings all these creeps to HP, half HP, you can heal it up before it gets to the tower and push the tower down. So if you're able to get a double or a triple creep wave, it helps. It's kind of like getting a pipe before you push the base. A pipe's generally an important team that you want to end up seeing. I don't know that his ultimate was necessary, but I guess part of the reason you would want to ultimate a Darkseer back there, Darkseer's vacuum would clear out all of these trees, and then if he's able to surge away, he would have gotten away from the Night Stalker. Well, possibly gotten away from the Night Stalker. So I guess it's an okay trade to go ahead and throw out that Static Storm. The cooldown's not that long. But as I was saying, the mech is just like a pipe. It armors and heals the creeps. And so when you're pushing into a base, if you can mech up all of your allies and mech up the creeps, as well as throw a pipe on the creeps, then you're going to have a really strong creep wave coming in because they won't be able to be nuked down, and the tower's not going to do as much damage to them with that 5 extra armor. So we are seeing an early Roshan attempt. Well, not early, 25 minutes, but it looks like Kingston is aware. They don't have any wards up, but I think they are aware that, I guess what they're looking at is there's no presence from MTW on the minimap. When you don't see anybody mid, you don't see the carry farming top, you can pretty much bet on them being at Roshan, because there's either that or they're smoke ganking you. Luna does have her BKB now though. So Luna's getting ready to start initiating in teamfights with the team. She's probably about to start pushing pretty hard. Let's see, where's their Luna at? She might want to finish up her Manta before she does that. It's going to be interesting to see whether she chooses to finish the Manta. But we are seeing a pipe coming out on Darkseer. He does have a mech and he'll have a pipe as well soon. He's about, what is that? Maybe 1200 away from his pipe. Ooh, that's something really important to point out that just happened. So, Magnus just RP'd the whole enemy team right here. Instantly, as soon as he RP'd, Disruptor threw up his ultimate in the area that they were RP'd. That way there would be no spells cast as soon as they came out of it. Along with that, of course, being the Venomancer, AoE damage, and then the Gyrocopter ultimate as well, I believe. So, RP does go through BKB, and so although Luna had her BKB up, Magnus being able to RP her, reverse polarity her, did actually end up stunning her as well into the Static Storm. She wasn't able to cast her ultimate. Let's see.
Radiant's middle barracks has fallen.
Looks like we're trying to get a BKB up on Templar Assassin, but I think at this point
Radiant's middle barracks has fallen.
the BKBs may be too late. I guess it's going to be interesting to see. Because we do only have one Rax down. I mean, it's always possible to come back, but
Radiant's bottom tower is under
we've still got the Aegis on Night Stalker, and we do have a mech from the supports. That's one other good thing about having an early mech. Something I need to point out real quick here, though. Also, Venomancer's running around with a gem, so Templar Assassin is not going to be able to melt. And right there, I don't know if you noticed, but that's the power of Disruption. I was talking about the range of Glimpse. He just glimpsed, so Disruptor was back here. He glimpsed Luna from right here, put her all the way back here, and gave his team a free kill. And that's all in the power of Disruptor. If you're able to make a good glimpse, they're going to go back to where they were 4 seconds ago. Someone that's fleeing, if you do it, you can put them back in the middle of your team. Just be sure to communicate with your team. Because if your team is chasing him right there, and he puts Luna back here, and she runs this way, then they're not going to have a good day. You know, he just saved the Luna. You'll see a lot of disruptors that don't communicate good with their team, saving enemy carries. Because they happen to wall them and they just spam their skills. You throw out that quick glimpse, and you end up actually throwing the carry in a better position for them than where they were originally. So right there again, he threw the Templar Assassin back out of the fountain, into the middle of his team. I don't know why they're dusting. Maybe just because he has the dust. I don't know who threw that dust out. Oh, it looks like Disruptor has dust. They do have a gem, but maybe he bought the dust before they had the gem. And he's like, hey, I haven't got to use my dust. Might as well throw it out there, you know? They're winning the game. They just won the game. There's the GGs. So it's probably just it was a victory dust. Is what we'll call it. And right there you see the mech effect. Venomancer mechs his creeps. His creep wave is all the way full again. That creep wave that was all at half is all back full. It's all armored up. It's ready to kill this Ancient. Why does it say this is a ranged barracks? That's something to look into. And that's it for Game 2 of the Defense 3. It's going to be a victory for MTW, so I expect to be seeing them again, and as I said, I believe this is best of 1. There might be some sort of consolation, but I think we're still in the qualifiers, so we probably won't be seeing Kingston again. And it looks like their Luna pick, they had the right idea. They got their early Helm of the Dominator, but then MTW did what was necessary. They instantly roamed down on the Luna lane and shut her down and took out that tower. Took out her jungle control, and from there wasn't much she could do, especially when they took her ancient farm too, and she lost half of that to Gyrocopter.